What up? I was on the floor petting the kitty. I kicked that a while back. Back when I was doing the drinking. But yeah, it was pretty funny tonight. You know, kind of just. I was giving myself a test, like when I had, you know, the kind of default mindset, whatever. And I always said I would do this, and and I have been doing it to an extent through this whole process, but like, I really did it tonight. Like, not fully, I'm still like kind of swirling with some things in my head. I think a big part of it is I've been alone these last few days. But shut the fuck up. It's okay. Anyway, don't fight your sister. Anyway, yeah, no, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, no, it's just kind of like, it was weird. It was like, it was literally the combination of both best case scenario and worst case scenario going on in my brain at the same time. Of me, I was watching Spider-Man Far From Home. It was all good. I had the thing in my head, you know, like I said before, the invisible obsession. I had it in my head a little bit. Not too much though. But almost halfway through No Way Home. Well, actually, I had to pause it anyway because I forgot we had a Zoom call, me and my detox peeps tonight. But yeah, no, I had to pause it. And I was just like, what is wrong with you? Because it's like my brain was telling me I had to do something right now and I can't relax. So, like, and even when I kind of just had that moment where I went into a different room and I breathed, I just chilled out. As that was happening, another one of those thoughts was brewing. And as I've said a million times before, it feels real. But it's like today, more than all the rest, has been like me being very self-aware in the whole process. And hell, if I talk about it right here as well, it's like, what was it? You know, like, you know, was it posting another video? Is that what I felt like I needed to do? Is it, you know, editing shit? I don't need to edit anything. I haven't recorded anything yet. Is it, you know, go and do the fucking, you know, just look for producers or learn my own, you know, how, you know, take courses or, you know, research some of that. Is it write songs? Is it just kind of fuck with them a little bit right now with what I know? Is it, you know, should I work out right now? I shouldn't right now, but like, what is it exactly that my fucking brain was telling me I absolutely have to do? Because really, it's absolutely nothing. And I've been through this process, this game over and over again. And I should know that. But instead of me sitting here being like, saying what I just said, being like, no, I should know that, but I don't seem to grasp it. It's like every time I say that, it's like, it's gonna happen again if you just don't fucking, you know. So that's the biggest challenge for me, is pushing through things when the anxiety is an invisible anxiety, if that makes sense. It always is, because it's always some made up thing, but a lot of times when I have anxiety, I can lash onto an image or an actual, you know, thing that I can focus on to be anxious about and build up in my mind, right? But the challenging one, the really challenging one, is when this anxiety is there, of me feeling like I need to do something or something like that, but there's nothing that exists there. It's just it's a placeholder. And that is the anxiety I gotta be able to work through, that's the biggest challenge, of being able to push through that one, because I've all but mastered pushing through all the other ones. Now it's like when it's a straight up, just like, like I said a million times before, I stop one thing, no, I put an end to the one anxiety and another one comes up. But and that's been happening a lot. I'm going to get a better grip on that. But this one is the special one. It's the one that it all doesn't exist, but this is the one that truly is invisible. It's the one that drives me the most crazy, because my mind's at this final point, and this has happened before. That when I say final point, I don't mean this is the end necessarily, but it's at the final lap. It's at the very end of any possible ways I can frame this into some sort of anxiety. So this last thing, it creates this invisible thing, and because it's this invisible thing, I try so hard to find it, and then I lose my mind, and then I just fucking like. It's the worst feeling that I don't fucking wish on anybody. It's so bad, and so it destroys my entire foundation and everything about me whenever it happens. So you can imagine what it feels like to frequently have that kind of fucking crisis, right? It's because it's not even just like a continual thing all the time. It does come in waves. But it's really bad. It's really fucking awful. And it's just like my mind's so used to doing it that it's just going to keep doing it. But I know that it's wrong, right? I know that it's a misguided, misplaced thing to try to like battle or, do a thing to... I don't want to say. It's just this thing that you're trying to conquer, right? It's this mindset that I think, it's that superhero mindset of all that kind of shit. You're trying to save the world, you're trying to fix these things, you're trying to conquer the bad guy. But a lot of times with this addiction, we use the word surrender a lot, because that's what you have to do. And that's such a weird thing, because in any other scenario, like if you're in a fucking war or something, surrender's a very bad word. And that's the reason we fight so hard against it with this mental health stuff, is because in every other aspect of life, you don't surrender. You don't want to surrender. You shouldn't surrender. You should just keep whatever. But when it comes to the sake of your mental health, a lot of times surrendering is the best thing, which is the most terrifying thing to an anxious person, because the second you surrender, the anxious thoughts can now run wild instead of you fighting against them. But you realize the fact that you were fighting against them was actually what was making it worse. It's going to be worse for a second when you surrender. Definitely. It's going to be even worse than when you fought against it for a second. But when you sit with it and just kind of move through it, because it's always going to be a part of you, you kind of have to let it become a part of you. If that makes sense. So, like, really, truly just, like, and I should know this, my favorite fucking hero is Batman. And the thing about him is, he's got that childhood phobia of bats. That's just a symbol we use, but really, you could put anything as a placeholder for that symbol there. He's, and it's him conquering that, working with it and using it. What people think is like he didn't all of a sudden he conquered his fear and he's not afraid of bats anymore. He still has that fucking phobia, but he's always surrounding himself with them. He fucking like he basically lives in a fucking cave with these fucking things. And because you see, that's the thing, is like people misinterpret that he somehow like completely got over the fear, but like within that movie, Batman Begins, he gets sprayed with fear toxin, and bats come and attack him. I mean, they're imaginary, or they're hallucination, obviously, but it's clearly evident that he's not over that in the same way he's not over his parents' death, right? It's not something you just get over. And there's always, talk of, like, Batman, like, a lot of those things could be solved if you just went to therapy. I'm like, to an extent. But, like, speaking of someone who has been to a lot of therapy, it kind of ends up being the same result of you having to, like, you know, not do what he did necessarily, you know, to become a vigilante and shit, but just kind of like, I don't know, like, make it yours. It always has been yours because it's always been just in here, but really truly, like, you, by surrendering control, you now have control. And it's very hard to explain because it's a fucking wild thing with the brain that it does not operate the way anything else should operate. Everything else is as straightforward as you've been led to believe. It truly is, you know. But when it comes to mental health stuff, not so much. That's why it's been such a struggle for people, is because it's the one thing you have to approach differently than everything else. But the thing is, it's the one thing that actually dominates everything else. Is where your mental state is at is gonna dominate whatever else in your life. So it's so funny that even I say, you know, it's all straightforward except for that. It's like, so in reality, it's not all straightforward because it starts here. Everything you do starts here, so you got to do it this way before you do it this way. You know, yeah, it all starts right in there. It okay. Yeah, it's wild shit. So, you know, it's another day of me kind of like, I'm probably gonna go to bed with it in my head a little bit. But, like, I think I made a lot of progress today. You know, I had a therapy session. I had that Zoom. I'm going to fix that in a minute. The Zoom call. It's just a few of us. A lot of people didn't get out. Just me and two other people. But we had that. And now I'm doing this. So, like, it's nice. And part of me didn't want to keep making these videos because of, like, the click thing. You know, people aren't going to click on these videos as much as fucking other videos. They don't want to fucking whatever, I don't know, you know, create a good thumbnail, just kind of like, hang on. Titties. I don't know, like, yeah. But, like, you know, so there's part of me that did that, but I'm thinking, like, here, like, how many people are sitting there, like, fully honestly posting, like, truly honest shit that, like, I'm doing, you know, like, not very many. So even if it reaches only like fucking 5 people, I think I'm still gonna do these videos on top of the other things, you know, the more fun things, you know. But yeah, so it's pretty much all I had to say about that. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have the fucking. Woo! I don't know, whatever. But, yeah, and you know, I know I sound like a broken record here, but it is that, you know, it is, yes, the final lap there, you know, and it happens every time. But instead of trying to be like, okay, we'll get it so that this time it doesn't happen, a lot of times, actually every time, it's because of me trying to prevent it is what makes it so strong. Instead of just being with it and being like, you know what? Come on! You know, bring it the fuck on, man. And like I said, it's ironic because it's different with the brain than outside. In the outside world, if someone's coming to attack you, defend yourself. But in this particular situation with mental health, it's going to come at you, and the way you're able to is just by letting it, like, come on, you know, sacrificing yourself. But you're not sacrificing yourself. You're bettering yourself, you know. Maybe you're sacrificing a part of yourself. So I guess it's still kind of like that, but yeah. Every time I talk, this motherfucker thinks it's time to talk. Right? What's that? What's that? Yeah. Hi, I'm busy. But no, yeah. That's yeah. Okay, yeah. I think I basically ended the video already. And that was about all I need to get out. Is, you know, that Maybe I need to figure out a way to like title these videos better, because I know there's a lot of people that are looking for videos like this, but maybe just seeing my face in the title of it doesn't really, it doesn't catch their eye in like the algorithm, so they just keep like filtering through and stuff like that. Because I know I've done that. I've been looking for videos, and just based on thumbnail and shit like that, I'll just scroll past. But then every now and then, I'll notice a video that kept coming up that I haven't clicked on. I'm like, I'm just gonna check it out. I have no interest in like seeing it. It doesn't look like anything interesting. But then I watch it, I'm like, oh my god, I fucking slept on this shit the whole time. So, but like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I need some, I'm talking about courses in music production. I need some fucking courses in blah, 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 blah. YouTube thumbnail isms. I try to, but even the ones I do think are interesting, people aren't clicking on. Like I had a recent one of my Batman cosplay because I forgot some pictures, so I put some in this one. But then I was like, oh, that's not really a way to justify a whole new video, so I put it in ones of my brothers that had really good pictures, and I put them as the thumbnail. And it didn't get near as much clicks as just my one that was just Batman. People don't like Spider-Man, Superman, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. Man, well, yeah, I don't know. That's something I have to figure out. And, yeah, it's like, maybe I shouldn't keep doing the vertical shit, but, like, I don't know, it's just kind of easier to do instead of trying to do, I mean, well, okay. that is pretty easy, and it does actually look a lot better, so I don't know, like, whoops. I think I just kind of, like, for whatever reason, got tired of that angle of doing that, but it does look a lot better than trying to do it like this. Because, yes, technically this is easier, but not fucking by much. It's not like, yeah, it's, my arm can still survive doing this. Like, hang on. Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's ugly. No, it is a little easier, but, like, I don't know, whatever. Anywho, enough of my rambling. Meh. There's a song that I wrote while in rehab that I kind of want to like show the lyrics, because it has a lot to do with this video, but like I also don't, because I'm all weird about people stealing my shit before it's actually a song. Because people be like that, I don't know.